definitely need to stop and air down. I still see a lot of people who don't air down when they go off-road. If you're out to enjoy yourself off-road, why not make it more comfortable? Then you have the added benefit of reducing the chances of puncturing your tires, because the tire is simply more flexible. It's more likely to just flex over a sharp rock rather than being punctured by it like a balloon. Aired down tires also give you more grip because you've got a larger contact patch on the ground. It really only takes me about 5 minutes to air down all 4 of the tires. You don't need an expensive $80 deflator kit to let the air out of your tires. So this is the deflator that I use, or rather deflators. They just thread together with the same threads as a valve stem, and you screw each one onto your valve stems. That way you can be airing down all 4 tires at once. It's only about $20 on Amazon. I learned about these from Jared at Backroad Exploration, and I love it. Oh, that is so much better. It smooths the ride out so much. When I'm driving gravel roads like these, forest roads, I generally air down to about 25 psi. When I first ordered my wheels and tires from Discount Tire Direct, I actually ordered the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires in 235 75 15, thinking that I could put them on there. I'd seen them on many other 3rd gen Foresters like this one. But because of my 1-inch lift, and I'll explain more about that later, I couldn't fit the 235s. The other problem was that, at the time, I mistakenly assumed that the tire specifications were simply width, sidewall height, and wheel diameter. So I believed that any tire with a sidewall of 75 would have the same sidewall as any other 75 tire. That second number, however, expresses sidewall height as a percentage of the tire's width. Therefore, 75% of a 235 is a taller sidewall than 75% of a 215. As that was the smallest size available in the Falcon Wild Peak AT3W, I had to find a different all-terrain tire that offered a size I could fit. They are BFGoodrich T KO2s, and they are 215 75 R15. So the stock wheel size on this Forester is 16 inches. And the stock tire size is 205, no. Tire size is 225. The stock tire size is, I think, 225, 60, R16. TireSize.com is a handy site for researching tires. I especially like the tire size comparison calculator, which really helps visualize what those tire specs mean in the physical world. So here, for example, we can put in the original OEM size of the Forester, and we can put in
size that I'm currently running. And you can see there's the OEM Forester size. There's the size of the tire that I'm running. Some of the guys running 2-inch lifts are running 235, 75, 15. And there you can see how much bigger that is than the tires I'm currently running.
One of the main reasons people who like to off-road their Subarus step down to a 15-inch wheel instead of the 16 or 17 that comes stock is so that you can fit a tire that has a higher profile, more sidewall basically. That not only gives you more rubber to absorb the shocks of being off-road, when you air down, it gives you much more room to air down so you can get a larger contact patch on the ground. For the first year I had the Forester, I was just running standard Continental all-season tires. And they were great tires. They were awesome on the road, silent and very, very smooth. And I did all kinds of off-road excursions for a whole year. And the car did fine. I mean, the Subaru all-wheel drive is excellent, and it gets you over all kinds of things. But I was stunned by the difference that putting the all-terrain tires on made. Especially with them air down, the grip is just phenomenal. The difference is perceptible, and the car is just like a tank. It really makes exploring the backcountry a pleasure because it takes away this uncertainty. They just get you there, and I was able to stop worrying about blowing a tire on a rock or something like that. And I've driven these KO2s over virtually any kind of terrain you can imagine. Mud, dirt, gravel, rock, lava rock, sand, snow, logs. For me, the biggest downside to the KO2s is simply their weight. With having so many plies, it's a heavy, heavy tire. The car became noticeably more sluggish trying to move the weight of these tires, and it's less quick and zippy around town. It just doesn't accelerate the way it did before. Moving that much extra unsprung weight obviously took a toll on my gas mileage as well. I don't have a commute, so the majority of my hours in this car are actually on the trail. If you do a lot of city driving and don't want to see as much of an impact on your car's performance and gas mileage, you may want to look into a lighter weight all-terrain. Obviously, one of the other downsides to the KO2s in particular is the expense. The KO2s are definitely noisier on the road, on pavement, than my all-season tires were. They make a little bit of a hum when you're at 55, 60 miles per hour. Fortunately, there are quite a few all-terrain tire options available to us, even at Subaru sizes. The Cooper Discoverer AT3, Yokohama Geolander Geo 15, General Grabber AT2 or ATX, Continental Terrain Contact, Firestone Destination AT, and of course the Falcon Wildpeak AT3W I originally tried to fit. These are just the ones I thought of off the top of my head. If you've had good luck with another brand of all-terrain tire on your Subaru, please comment below about your experience, or for that matter, what you think of any of these, including the KO2. Your insights and experience could be helpful for someone else researching what to buy. Do you need a lift to run all-terrain tires? No, you don't. On a Subaru, the main constraint for running a larger diameter tire is not the distance from the car body, but is actually the spring perch right here. This is on the strut. The lift is up on top of the strut up here. So no matter how much lift you have or not have, the distance from the wheel, the hub, the tire, to this spot right here is always going to be the same. Also, the offset, the plus 15 offset of the black Rhino wheels pushes the wheel and tire out this way, away from the spring perch also. So that is how you also gain clearance for larger tires. In my case, the 1-inch lift is actually more of a hindrance than a help for fitting larger tires. When you put a spacer on top of the strut, it actually shifts the wheel's position in the wheel well. And as you can see, there's very little room at the front. So with the 1-inch lift on there, my wheel actually came forward and I couldn't fit a bigger tire than that. I actually ended up cutting away some plastic fender liner that stuck out here and hammering back the pinch weld and even cutting a little bit of metal in there in order to give that a little bit more breathing room in there. The advantage of a 2-inch lift is that it includes components that recenter the wheel so you can fit a larger tire without running into the front of the rear wheel well.
Here's my Forester at stock height on tires that are virtually identical in size to my current all-terrains. No lift needed. Oh, and yes, I do carry a full-size spare, but I'll be talking more about this in a future video. After running them for a year, I am still entirely thrilled with the BFGoodrich KO2. It's a tough, grippy tire that, while not the cheapest, has proven itself immensely capable in a huge range of terrain and conditions. There are many other options available out there, however, which might better fit your needs in terms of weight, road noise, cost, or overall appearance. Regardless of the tire you run, I absolutely recommend airing down when you go off pavement for increased comfort, increased grip, and increased puncture resistance. If you've been researching all-terrains for your Subaru, I hope this has been at least a little bit helpful. I'm far from an expert of any sort, but I'm happy to share what I've learned through my own experience.